Hello, brothers and sisters, and welcome to my page. My page for common sense. I try to keep it down and nitty-gritty under 10 minutes. If it goes over 10 minutes, it's something very, very, very important and not important to liberals, libertards, people that believe in God, people like to smoke, people like to drink, people like ayahuasca, people like DMT. Listeners, discretion is advised. Listeners' discretion is advised. Because I'm not your average man. I'm not your Peter Pan. So if you have any comments, questions, insults, or roast fest, you put it down below. I'm a personality type, eccentric, abstract, true alpha. There's no guys like me on the internet. I already said this time and time again. So let's talk about a topic, because a friend of mine talked to me about is polygyny a sin. Let's make this very clear. Most of you don't understand what a sin is. You don't know what that means. You just don't know what that means. My raison d'etre voices tell me all the time what a sin is. The terminology of a sin is when you do something and it is a mistake and you keep repeating it. That is a sin. We are living in a matrix-like system. We are in the avatar of the body. So if you're reading religion, you believe in souls, and you should believe in reincarnation. If you read the older books, which is basically older than the Quran and the Christian Bibles, you'll find out that Judaism and Hinduism existed far beyond the Christian faith and the Muslim faith. So we have to start thinking outside the box what a sin is. No. I'm making a video. No, not now. Okay? And so a sin is basically an illusion. Okay, because there's a lot of things that have been destroyed, like the makraba tree that we used to feed off the manna. We are magic peoples. We are living in the matrix. This is not a delusion. Okay, we are in a cycle. So I don't want to get too far off the topic. Okay, I don't want to sound like Bobby Hemmett. Okay, because people told me you sound like Bobby Hemmett. Just use common sense, but I'm a little bit more advanced than Bobby Hemmett. I don't give a fuck what you've been studying. I hear the voices. He don't hear shit. Okay, polygyny is a sin. Only when you're greedy. You know, sin is a form of greed, right? Now, you may think greed is not a sin, but think about it. What possibly can King Solomon the Great do with 700 wives? He's not going to be able to fuck everybody. He's going to fuck everybody. And what happens? Is he being selfish? See, that's another sin. Selfishness, greed, gluttony. These are basic fundamental Dante's Inferno type shit. But those are real sins. Those are things that fuck up other people's lives because you're not being thoughtful. Correct? So a sin is a mistake you keep repeating over and over. And also some immoral things. You know, such sins can be done. Children can do damaging things. When I was a kid, I used to pluck off the wings of a fly. That, to me, was a sin. But I did not realize this until I got older. You remember this. We all eat chickens. We all eat lettuce, which all those things are alive. But we don't understand the terminology of what a sin is. We don't understand what that means because we're still children. I had to learn that shit when I was a kid. When I was 7 years old, I was like, yo. I wasn't really having any empathy for the fly that was plucking off his wings. I did not know this. Now, a sin is not ignorance now. Now, there are people who are mentally ill, but they do things because they get a gratification of it. It's like a satire, a fetishy type of thing. Some people do some heinous type of thing, but you got to understand the psyche of a person before you can understand what sin is. So technically, polygyny in anything is not a sin, depending on how you look at it. It is not subjective, as a matter of fact. You have to be empathetic. You have to be caring about things, okay? You got to know what context you're talking about. And so now, since I made that very clear that polygyny is not a sin, if you're greedy and you got 700, 1,000 wives, and you know all these men have not had a wife, they cannot find a wife because you are the king, you are the Lord, you are God. Don't you think that's kind of wrong? And even in the story of Gilgamesh, which our guys still pretty much know about, Gilgamesh was a demiurge god. He was I think he was a giant. Okay. And Gilgamesh basically was ruining mankind's life because he was more powerful than the ordinary man. Okay. You better start reading about the demiurge gods that existed on this planet, far beyond these other gods, okay? Please, peoples, start reading about them. They caused humanity misery. Many times human beings have stood up against the demiurge gods, more powerful than them, coming through the clouds, because we're living in a form of matrix. When you die, you don't know anything about reincarnation, right? You may be born as a monkey, a tiger, a lion, or a bear, oh my, but you don't know nothing? Do you really believe that we human beings are the only species on this motherfucking planet? You out of your goddamn mind to think that. There are creatures that are trapped here on this fucking planet because of the war between man and these other deities. But you won't know about it because you're stuck in religion. So stop. This is what you have to do. Stop focusing on one thing and start learning about almost everything. Start learning about all sorts of other things. Don't just focus on one thing and try to break it down and say you are completely right. Because I never do that type of shit. When I have conversations with people, I always say, hey, you think about it later. I'll ask a question. What da 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 da. And if you answer it wrong, we are all stuck in a limbo-like delusional state of mind. We all are, in a sense. So you got to get yourself out of that what is a sin thing. Especially if you're not hurting someone, how can it be a sin, right? If you're not hurting someone or you're not hurting yourself, because people do care about you, even if you don't have people around you, there's special deities that's on the other side watching you. They care about your being. Most of you people are not very special people. You're just not. This is why I don't want my videos to be watched. You're not special, especially if you're in religion. You're nothing special. You'll just be used as food for this energy vortices in this planet. You don't know how to escape. You have too much fear. False evidence appearing fucking real. You have too much of it. It's gone. You're stuck here. If you live in the delusional box of Jesus, you're going to Jesus. If you live in the delusional box of Allah, you're going to Allah. It's common sense. I do not consider myself a mere mortal, okay? All right? I die and I will come back in another body. You ever heard of the story with the Avatar? The anime, okay, that came out? With that guy with the arrow on his head and he bends the elements. Y'all gotta watch more movies and shit. You gotta start opening and broadening your horizon of what a sin is. But this video is not what the true intentions of and definition of sin is, but I did explain it. But polygyny is not a sin. Unless immorality kicks in, with greed. You're suffering other people. You cannot do that. Shiva, as a matter of fact, Ramayana, which is one of the gods I looked up to, he had harmony with humanity. Okay, he lived for 6,000 years old. He was a demiurge god who fought the demons straight up, battled toe to toe. Okay, but he left to the heavens. He wasn't destroyed and he didn't die. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you who Ramayana is. To me, I believe I'm a reincarnate of him because I knew how to harmonize with the earth and also with humanity. You should do some research on this. Do some research, because most of you motherfuckers are lazy as fuck. This is Ramayana, okay? I found this picture sitting outside in Brooklyn, New York, right next to my apartment. And then I realized research about this individual because I'm like, is there any deity that ever existed on the planet that actually worked with humans and other species as well? Yes, yes, yes. I don't like most humans right now, okay? Because most humans are still in their infancy stage. They're childlike, okay? So I can't do nothing about it. So I'm not out there. I don't have all my power to put fear in people's asses because my intentions is not to fear. My intentions, I'm in this body for a reason. But understand my point when it comes to polygyny, okay? Polygyny is not a sin unless you're trying to be greedy. I think it's right for every man to have 3 wives, okay? And I think every woman should be a virgin. Okay. Other than that, I'm out of here, guys. I hope you learned something from this video. Is polygyny a sin? That's what this video is about. That's what this video is about. It's not a sin unless you're being greedy. Now, King Solomon had some issues. He was very wise beyond his years. And maybe he got tired of one wife because he knew he wouldn't get to the 700th wife at the end of the year. She'd be horny as hell. Okay? But that would not be my dream, though. That's not my dream, to have multiple wives, sleeping with multiple wives and being all over the place. No. It's about spreading your seed, spraying your wild oats, okay? You don't need ceremonies, and all that stuff is created by man. So you can have some sort of order in something, some sort of celebration, okay? Now, once things get too much mandated and some things be law, some people become unhappy. And you can't push too much laws on people who's trying to evolve. Doesn't matter who it is. Human beings are like the lowest, the childless like race. We live on this planet because we incubate for 9 months. And we live less than 100 years old because of obvious reason from history. History will repeat itself if we actually live to 600 and 600 years old. Human beings should not live that long. For obviously good reason. Guess what? That's the end of the video. Because I'm not your average man. I'm not Joe Peter Pan. See you later. Bye bye. Bye bye. See ya.